Hi, and welcome to the Spiritual Awakener. I'm so excited that you found this podcast. And if you found this podcast, you are definitely open to either a spiritual awakening of yourself. You've either had one, you know someone who's had one, or you're thinking, is there something else for me? Should I really be somewhere else in the world? And maybe my soul is driving me to listen to this show. So I'm excited you're here. I hope you enjoy the Spiritual Awakener. This is where I interview amazing people that are everyday people like myself and like you who've had experiences which have really changed their life. They've been a spiritual awakening that has led them to help others to heal themselves in whatever way they've designed it in their soul path. So I'm really excited to interview my guest here, who happens to be a very good friend of mine that I've known for quite a long time, and her name is Fiona Dilston. So Fiona, welcome to the Spiritual Awakener.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, great to have you here. And so the first thing that I'd like to ask you is, what was your spiritual awakening and how did you know that something shifted inside of you?
I think it was never one particular thing.
Yeah,
I feel like it's been a constant stream of little tweaks that have kept me on path. Yeah. I think I felt very different as a child. I felt I grew up in a very small village in Northumberland.
Yeah.
And I didn't have much contact with other kids till I was 5.
Wow.
So I had a very rich inner world. We lived on a little farm. We had some animals. My mum had been full-on professional nanny. I was, shall we say, a very wanted baby. She hadn't thought, to my understanding, that she was going to get children.
Wow. So you were very special.
Maybe. So yeah, and I just remember a lot of like rich connections with the animals.
Yeah.
With being in nature. Being able to be totally safe.
Yeah.
In a way that, children certainly, aren't.
Many children haven't felt safe. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just having that environment where there was animals, there were people living next door who were in fact the children that my mum had looked after when she was a teenager. Yeah. When she'd left school at 15.
Wow. Yeah.
So it was interesting, and an extreme closeness between her and I. So yeah, that was the kind of beginnings. There was a connection with nature. There was a strong connection with the animals. Seeing like little robins building nests.
Oh, yeah.
The frogs, you name it. It was extremely rural, and I had much more connection with animals and plants than with other children till I was like 5.
So that kind of was your grounding into, and we'll talk about that in a moment, about how you actually help other people. But what do you feel was, so for people listening, that is almost an idyllic childhood, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's almost idyllic.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, pretty good. And yeah, we know that every single childhood is never completely idyllic. What do you feel was an awakening moment for you? That sounded like it was the start of your journey. What do you feel was an awakening moment where you kind of knew there's so much more for me in this world, and I know that I need to help people?
I feel one of the very significant things was working at Glastonbury Festival. in something like...
So for those people that are listening overseas, Glastonbury, can you explain a bit about that?
It's probably the hugest musical and alternative life now festival that is maybe in Europe even, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's certainly
in the UK. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's in a little village called Pilton, which is not actually Glastonbury. Glastonbury is the town.
Yeah.
Pilton is the village, and it's Worthy Farm where this happens every year.
Yeah.
And my feeling is, if I'm tuning in to connect with a time, was actually this guy coming to me for counselling, because I'd done some counselling training prior to that, and I was actually working there with my counsellor hat on.
Yeah.
And I'd also done some healing work, and him saying, I'm really, really frightened. And I'm saying, okay, are you okay if I just put my hands gently on you? And he's like, yeah, this is fine. And he's saying, I can feel this shifting. I can feel this shifting. So I'm moving my hands away, and I just put them on the ground and just let it go back into the earth.
Yeah. And so that was a knowing that you had.
It was
probably from the very start of being here in this earthly experience as a child, that the ground and the earth and the nature was where we could transmute energies.
Completely.
Yeah.
And I mean, even to the extent of, if I flip back a little bit along my timeline to my own birth, my mum was moved while in labour with me from one place to another. He was moved so that she was actually on a dragon ley line.
Wow.
When I was delivered by emergency cesarean.
Incredible, huh?
So, I was getting a dose of the woo, a dose of the alternative.
Yeah. Right from that moment, the get-go.
I was getting immersed in it.
So what happened with this? So this guy, we have to thank him for coming into your experience at that moment. And we know that for people listening, there are many synchronicities on our journeys, aren't there, where we don't think necessarily at the time, oh, wow, that's profound, but we realise later on.
And it's, I think also I had somebody say to me, it'd been round about that time, that I had a much greater effect on other people than I was ever aware of.
Yeah.
And I find that now, because I will find that I've done quite a lot of different things in my career.
Yeah. As we all have.
Oh yeah. We go where we're guided sometimes. Yeah. We really do.
Yeah. There's no holy grail, right?
There is no holy grail. There's a series of them.
Yeah.
They just keep popping up. And what was I saying?
So taking you back to that moment, with that man, and you intuitively, instinctively knew to transmute that fear and that energy. What happened after that? So where do you feel your healing journey went? And then we're going to talk about how you really do help people.
I feel here that my healing journey, actually, from there on, I did a hell of a lot of tarot. Yeah. I did a hell of a lot of putting images in front of people. Yeah. Realizing that I could circumnavigate the counseling process very, very, very quickly. Yeah. That I could
with this tool.
Yeah. I could do in 10 or 15 minutes what might have previously taken me a long time to unravel with somebody. Yeah. Now, some people are ready for that. Some are not. Yeah. When somebody is not, what happens is you put an array of cards in front of them and go, I am, connecting you with this image. Have a look at this. See what this is. And they go, nah, I'm going nowhere near it. But I had so many occasions where somebody would ring me. Somebody would say to me.
Afterwards,
indeed. Yeah. I'm really sorry. I was really rude to you. I told you were talking a load of rubbish.
When really it made sense. Yeah.
Because
So how is that? So and how has that led, and what do you do now? How do you now? Because I mean, I know what you do because we've met on that journey. But tell the listeners what you're trained in, but also how you help people with all of these different things that you're trained in. So explain.
Okay, I'm a homeopath. And I also do stuff with flower essences as backup to this. My way, so to speak, is still giving people those aha moments. Giving people that understanding so that they are getting it on the mental, emotional. So that it then can help them to see what is going on, and help them to be able to take the steps with me still holding the hand a lot of the time to actually heal themselves, to make those changes.
And what sort of clients would come to you? So because obviously we have themes, don't we, of clients that come to us, but what theme is happening at the moment with this big, universal, beautiful awakening that's happening?
I think the theme at the moment is people honouring their own childhoods.
Wow.
People honouring who they are and being able to own that. There is definitely something here with sovereignty, with realising who you are and what you are capable of.
Incredible,
Squishing
that, isn't it? Owning it and owning it, acknowledging it, but also saying, actually, that doesn't define me. That doesn't define me. It just is part of my experience, which leads me to be this incredible being.
Well, it's just the owning and saying from that, from those difficulties or whatever else, I have become who I am.
Exactly.
And it doesn't define me, but it can make me a damn sight more accessible to a lot of people that, I am prepared, or whoever is prepared to be vulnerable, share bits of their story.
And so say somebody's listening now, and they might have a physical message, they might have an emotional message in their body, they might have what sort of things? Give me some examples so that people can kind of get a grasp of it, because this could be the first time they've ever listened to somebody who is an intuitive healer like us, so just for example.
Well, you may find that somebody is having, say, recurrent sore throats, as simple as that. And it is an expression issue.
Brilliant.
You may also find that somebody is having recurrent gynae issues. And that too is an expression issue.
Brilliant.
Because you've got both the reproductive organs in the male and the female. And the throat are connected.
Amazing. So you can help people. It's almost like a map, isn't it? Like you can help people map an experience to what the body is telling us.
It's a general route map. And I think I have concerns about it being too didactic. I have concerns about it. People sometimes, when you start linking too much body-mind stuff too early, can get quite resentful about it and saying that's not true. And again, that is part of going in gently. And
so you say you work really gently.
Time.
So whoever is listening and may feel drawn, and we'll give your details in a moment as well of how they can contact you. It doesn't matter where they are on their journey. If this is the first thing they've ever listened to, and they've maybe got something that's been running for a long time and been showing up in their life, maybe showing up in their body. It's not about going in with the bulldozer. It's about
absolutely not
the pace of somebody's where someone wants to go their pace.
Taking something at somebody's own pace.
Yeah.
I have something that I take from basically what I call it is like child-led weaning. And I will say to somebody, if you want to come and work with me, I'm not going to necessarily say I'm going to fix you in 3 sessions, because you're not a car.
No, exactly. Yeah. It's their healing journey, right?
It's, you start a process, other things surface, and saying, okay, this has surfaced. So many times people will come to me presenting with one thing, and it's not. It's something that is underneath that surface. It's
usually always, actually, isn't it? I would say in our journeys, you know, I work slightly differently, but I definitely would say the same. Someone will present with something, and actually that's just the symptom, and the cause or the origin is somewhere completely different. And that's what's beautiful about healing, isn't it?
Well, it's taking it deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
And getting them to, you know, in my homeopathic consultation process, we're looking at ancestral stuff. Yeah. We're looking at what's gone on with mum, what's gone on with dad. Also, we can be looking at what has gone on in groups of people you have been involved with. What has happened with, you know, if you've been in a house share, what happened in a school you were in, a university you were in, a place you were living. Yeah. Because so Fiona, there is the collective,
They can come and people can come and, well, they work with you online like we work together. But they can work with you that way individually. Do you offer any courses, any trainings? What can you tell us about other things that you can offer?
I offer an EFT training,
which is emotional freedom technique.
Yeah, the tapping thing. And that's, after much deliberation, is really quite aimed at practitioners. That is aimed at practitioners who want to add something to what they're doing already.
And that's how we met on the EFT journey, and EFT is an amazing tool, isn't it?
It's great as well, and it is so powerful to add to what you're doing already.
So you can offer that. So if there's anybody listening here that perhaps is a therapist already, or a homeopath already, or whatever, and they want to add something as a healing tool outside of their practice, they can come and train with you.
Certainly. And that course is Complementary Medical Association accredited.
Yeah, brilliant. So can we just give the listeners how they can get hold of you, and then let's talk a bit more.
Right. I am the only Fiona Dilston anywhere. And my surname is D-I-L, S for sugar, T-O-N.
The one and only Fiona Dilston. Yeah. Brilliant.
And it's just your normal spelling of Fiona.
And they'll find you, if they put you in Google, they'll find your website.
Put me in Facebook, put me in Google.
Yeah.
I'm on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I am pretty easy to get hold of.
Yes.
And I do all of my stuff over Zoom or Skype.
Yeah, same. Okay. So if somebody's interested and they really, they like your energy, they resonate with it, they feel actually, this has been repeating for a long time. It might be sleep, it might be whatever it might be. Could you offer them a sort of 10 or 15 minute consultation?
By all means. If they go on to my website,
they can contact
and that's just fionadilston.co.uk. If they go on to Calendly, and that's calendly.com/Fiona Dilston, they can book there.
Brilliant.
And I do have,
or they can email
little
you.
slots.
And that's great, because it would be really great if people, sometimes people, they're sort of undecided and they don't know, and they just think,
they've got a burning question and they want to go, have you worked with that?
And
absolutely. Maybe something they don't want to go on to a public domain where I am. I've got a couple of pages on Facebook, whatever else.
Yeah.
They don't want to maybe start even typing it. They want to just talk back and forwards. And I think the whole talking process is
really important.
Because it's through that communication, through the vibration of the communication, that, you know, the healing can take place. And
I agree with you. And I think even just listening to this podcast, you know, and people are listening to this spiritual awakening experience, just this is almost like sowing the seeds. The soul already knows, doesn't it, where it's supposed to be and who it's supposed to be working with at that time.
Completely.
But it's just the sowing the seeds of, oh, actually, yes, maybe if I look back at my life, well, I had awakening experiences, but I actually never saw it like that. And maybe people were listening to it saying, wow, I've always wanted to, I don't know, be a homeopath or be a channel for healing or help people and be of service, and I've never done it, you know. So it's great for people to listen to this.
The other thing I've forgotten to add is I do offer a 2-day tarot and oracles type training.
Okay, so 2-day where they can learn how to use the tarot and oracle cards.
Yeah, and I will pitch that at the level somebody's at.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
It's something I've taught that kind of stuff for
many years. Let's just say many years.
Many years.
Many years. So that's great. So is there anything that you could say to anybody that perhaps are listening to you for the first time and they wonder, you know, well, how can you incorporate homeopathy, which is such a beautiful soul medicine? Because I actually know, you know, I used it from both my pregnancies. I use it with my children. I use it for myself, and I call Fiona up or message her and say, Fiona, what can I do about this? And she will intuitively know exactly what we need. So I just say that to anybody who's listening, you know, if you have any doubts about seeing a homeopath, then the person to see is Fiona. Definitely, because she's not just a homeopath, she's an intuitive homeopath with many other strings to her bow. And so if somebody sort of wanted to think about working with you, what could you say to them? You know, would it be you might use homeopathy, you might not, you might use flower essences? Would it be just what you felt at the time?
I will go with what is needed.
Yeah. So you intuitively know.
Somebody coming to me and it may be, okay, you are in such a delicate state that I am not going to prescribe homeopathy for you. We're going to look at we're going to look at flower essences perhaps.
So whatever you feel in all your hundreds of years of and many lifetimes of experience.
Absolutely. I mean, I realise that it's more than one lifetime's worth for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so it's really, so if you're listening and you feel, oh my goodness, this might be something that I feel I need to do something, and this feels something that I feel I'll be looked after almost, what my guides are saying here is almost like held and cuddled, you know, through the journey of their healing, then this might be the person. Fiona might be the person that you feel drawn to. So Fiona, how can they get hold of you again?
All right, well, like I said, I'm the only Fiona Dilston anywhere.
Fiona Dilston, Dilston.
Yeah. Facebook, I'm on there. Facebook, I've got a Fiona Dilston training page.
Yeah.
I've got a Fiona Dilston homeopath page.
Yeah.
And
so they can really find you anyway.
I'm so easy to find.
She's easy to find. She's easy to work with.
And I'm easy to talk to.
Easy to talk to. I was just about to say. So Thank you so much for joining us
My
today.
pleasure. Thank you.
The Spiritual Awakener. And so if you've got a spiritual awakening story that you would like to share with my audience, I'd love to hear from you. So you can find me on susankennard.co.uk. And I think I'm the only Susan Kennard, or there might be one in Canada actually, but it's Susan Kennard, KNNARD.co.uk. And you can find me on there and Facebook and LinkedIn and all the places that Fiona spoke about. And I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing you, hearing you, and connecting with you on the next episode of The Spiritual Awakener.